Welcome to the final episode of Lesson 2. Let's practice what we've learned. Here we have information for the nation of Muffet, who only produces curds and whey. You know where this is from, right? The old nursery rhyme? Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey, when along came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. Yeah, so anyway, we've got this chart. And year 1 is going to be our base year. So, the first question asks us to compute the nominal GDP and the nominal GDP per capita for year 1. Since we're doing nominal GDP, we're going to use the prices and the units from year 1. Let's start with the curds. 100 units times $100 equals $100. Sorry, 100 units times $1 equals $100. Anyway, now for the whey. Oh, by the way, curds and whey is cottage cheese, just in case you didn't know. 50 units times $2 gives us $100. If we add the two totals together, we get a nominal GDP of $200. Now, to find the nominal GDP per capita for year 1, we need to divide the population of 5 by the nominal GDP. That gives us a nominal GDP per capita of $40 per person. Question B wants us to find the real GDP and the real GDP per capita for year 2. To do so, we need to take the curds units from year 2 and the curds prices from our base year, year 1, and multiply them. That gives us $150. Next, we'll take the whey units from year 2 and the whey price from year 1, multiply them together, and you get $150 again. Add them up, and you get a real GDP for year 2 of 300 doll hairs. Now for the real GDP per capita. We'll take our real GDP and the population in year 2, 6, mazel tov, and we'll divide by the population to get a real GDP per capita of $50. Part C wants us to determine if the standard of living for its citizens has increased from year 1 to year 3. In order to find this information, we have to first find the real GDP for year 3, and then the real GDP per capita for year 3, and then we'll compare the GDP per capita from both years. If the real GDP per capita of year 3 is higher than the real GDP per capita of year 1, then the citizens are better off, theoretically. So, to get real GDP for year 3, we need to multiply the quantity of curds from year 3 by the price of curds from year 1, which totals out to 200. Next, we take the quantity of whey from year 3 and the price of whey from year 1, multiply them, and you get $200. Add those bad boys together, and you get a real GDP of $400. The next step is to get the real GDP per capita for year 3. The population in year 3 is 8. Congrats on the growing population. And we'll divide the GDP by the population, and you get a GDP per capita of $50. Now let's compare. We already have the GDP per capita for year 1. We got that in question A. So we can compare that to the real GDP per capita of year 3. And we can see that year 3 has a higher GDP per capita. That means that, yes, the standard of living has increased. And that's all, kiddos. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.